Hey everybody, what's going on? Hopefully this begins streaming. But yeah. Still very new to Twitch. Hey everybody.
Yeah, hey everybody. It's Dave and Dan.
What's going on, folks?
We're here streaming video games because there's just a lot of stuff to do, and I'm just drawn over here to keep up with our cash.
Keeping up with cash. So anyways, we've had a pretty good week because the Steve Lichman book started going out, and we've been on top of that, but it's the weekend, and Amazon stopped their shipping for the next 24 hours or so, so I'm taking a quick break to just relax, talk to people, answer some questions, hang out on here for like an hour. So thanks for coming by. And
yeah, thanks for hanging out.
as always, if anyone has any questions about anything and everything, feel free to just drop them in the chat, and we will be happy to answer them and talk about stuff. And yeah.
And thanks to everybody who went on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and posted up pictures from your Steve books arriving at your house and everything. It's been really cool to see just everybody getting them finally. It's so surreal.
It's great.
It's been a crazy couple days, and we know a lot of you guys still waiting on the books.
Yeah.
But they'll be there pretty soon. But yeah, if you want, feel free to share on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook with us whenever you get them. We'd love to see him. So far, we've seen Steve tucked into bed. We've seen Steve at the beach. We've seen Steve on a IKEA quality photo. With
So many.
Like a cheese platter.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beautiful pictures.
That one was a lot of fun. But yeah, so it feels good to finally have people getting them. It feels really good.
Yeah, I never thought the day would come.
It's like such an insane relief.
Yeah, we were sitting there constantly wondering whether or not Amazon would mess something else up, or what would happen with the shipments in general. But overall, it's been really, really good. I mean, for how many went out, only a couple didn't make it.
Right.
That were little errors that, obviously we don't have control over the postal service, but outside of two, there's really not a lot
Yeah.
that's gone wrong, which is really surprising.
Thank goodness. Christian wants to know how you sub.
There's a subscription button just below the video, and you can subscribe there, and we will have emotes up and things like that, and I think you have a longer access to the streams, and we'll do more stuff eventually, but for right now it's basically just a way for you to help support us as we keep this going. We're gonna try and keep this regular. We'll get back to drawing on here too, but like we've been saying the past couple streams, we've had so much going on with the shipments of the books that it's really been the only thing we've been doing.
Yeah. And basically, if anyone's not on top of what's been happening, if you haven't seen the updates and stuff, pretty much the only people whose books didn't go out this week are people in Canada, Argentina, and a couple people in Moscow. Reason for that being, there's some international trade laws that prevent Amazon from doing that. In Canada's case, it's called the Canadian Heritage Act. So I'm going to be mailing those out personally, hopefully next week. Amazon's sending me the books, I think, on Monday. So if you do live in Canada, just, sit tight, we'll get it to you. We had no idea that law existed. Amazon never told us it existed, so we're just working around it as best we can.
Yeah, we've had a lot of mix-ups with things. We just found out, how we posted up on Facebook about how the fees went up a lot on our shipping. And what ended up happening was not only did our fees go up that time, they went up again just recently. Found out that the thing with the shipping was that it's like, what is it, per pound or something like that? And we thought it was
Yeah.
a flat thing.
They didn't tell us that it was a variable thing based on actual total weight. They also didn't tell us that the packaging materials that they put on it, like the box and the the bubble wrap and that kind of stuff, factors into the total weight. So like it's a little higher than we thought it was going to be. So we're just kind of rolling with that now.
Yeah, that's one of the only other, like, I mean, not that it changes anything, but that's just, if we're treating this like a vlog, that's something that happened to us.
Yeah.
So
we
it
just want
ended
to
up
tell
being
people,
an extra, like, I forget how much, but
it's like $1.35 a book.
so an extra 7,000, no, more than that, an extra.
Well, then
like,
the international's an extra $3.50 a book. So it's
Right,
it's pretty dope. It's like an extra 10 grand, whatever. It's pretty dope. It's pretty cool. You plan on a certain number and then they add 10,000 to it. Whatever, you roll the punches. Book 2 is going to be a little more expensive, guys.
Yeah, we have no way around it. We're trying to find ways to keep the price down.
Yeah.
Like we did before, but what we have right now, and this is subject to change, but the way that we're figuring is the first book will probably have to go up by like $5 just because of what we learned from this one. It's just impossible to do a book for $20 at the quality level we did.
Well, it's not impossible to do the book. It's impossible to ship the book. That's the thing is
without charging a ton of money.
If you guys were at like a con or something, we could sell that book to you for $20, no problem, and it'd be fine. But because we're shipping it, it's impossible, which is unfortunate.
So due to the shipping, it'll probably have to go up to $25 for the second edition, which is still super cheap for like a 252-page book that's hardcover with cloth and foil. But we're bummed out that we couldn't keep it at that rate because it's too crazy. We're still able to keep it cheap because it is just us. We're two people, we're doing everything. So it's like, we don't have to pay a bunch of different distributors. We don't have to pay all these other costs that a regular book that would be going all around the world would have to pay to be in stores and things. So it would need to be a little more expensive after like shelf stocking fees and things like that. Mm-hmm. But all in all, $25 for the second edition of that.
Someone said $1 a page. No, it went up like $1.30 a book.
Yeah, so like $1.30 a book.
Roughly, based on weight. I need this Metapod to become a Butterfree so bad. Please.
But, yeah, that's what's going on with us. I am working on some advertising work right now while Dan does that. And, we're right in this weird little limbo area where we're jumping back into book 2 really soon in the next few days, and we're going to be sending out all of the audiobooks, and the lunch boxes are going to ship to us pretty soon. And that's going to start to go out. Dan's going to be mailing pretty much everything.
Yeah, due to the Amazon problem, if anyone's been following it, because of what happened with Amazon, things ended up getting broken up into different... And what we wanted to do was ship everything together at once. Due to the Amazon problem, we split it up into pieces. So, like, the books are going out now. Everyone should have tracking for their book by next week. Hopefully people in Canada do too, but it depends on whenever Amazon gets the books to me. Then the audiobooks are going out, hopefully next week. And then right after that, the second that's done, the lunch boxes are getting mailed by me to you. So, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of moving parts. That's what happens when you gotta run your own business.
Someone figured out how to make a skull and shark emote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at the chat.
I don't have the chat open. Hold
on.
That's awesome. I don't know if I can see it now.
Oh, okay. I'm reading the chat, but, yeah.
I'm just gonna tell him.
Whoa, you got number 17, Vaughn?
Post the emote.
That's crazy. Hey, Artist X Artist, can you post the emote again?
Yeah, I'm in the chat now. I just want to see it. I want to see
Wow.
that beautifulness.
Vaughn got number 17.
Really?
That's crazy. We have no idea who got number 1. We randomized the whole thing. We didn't keep number 1.
No, we didn't. I mean, who knows what we're getting?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
Like, we only ordered a little bit extra for us so that we could
Speary.
send it to reviewers and things. But yeah. Oh, look at that. It's
Small
going
and
to
sharp.
Jack Bong. No, I did not finish that Beastman portrait. Never did.
Oh, hey, Thomas. Yeah, sorry we couldn't give them to people in the order they pledged. We were told the work it would take to coordinate that was too much. They basically said that with 7,300 books, there was absolutely no way they could line up, you know, backer number 1 to book number 1 and have Amazon be able to manage it. Our shipper could have done it. Amazon, no way.
Yeah, the way Amazon works, it's like, you know, it's too random. They just unpack everything and just start shipping it. Yeah, so
Sorry if
here
I'm
we
slow
are.
playing the game. I'm reading the chat while I grind this Metapod into a Butterfree. How's the tutorial going, Dave? I'll read the questions, Dave. Don't worry about it.
Sure. It's going good. I mean, I found out that it was going to be 16 hours after I compiled all the videos together.
16 hours? Just go for 24 at that point. Just do a whole day tutorial.
No, I can't. I will.
16
I wrote
hours.
a bunch of I wrote a bunch of talking points, things that I want to cover. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna put people through that. It is pure chaos to do that. Yeah, but it's coming out pretty good. I mean, I definitely have a lot to talk about as far as that approach goes. I mean, it's something that I've kind of like been putting off doing anything with for a really long time. What is going on with this? Sorry, I think I messed up. You know, got requested to do that tutorial like a million times since all the way back to when I did the Ninja Turtles, and it's such a long process, and it's so insane with like how I actually do it as far as like the time and the steps. Like the steps are pretty all over the place, but it is my process. It's literally what I do every time I do that style. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I definitely want to get that out and just have that be done. Just the thing that I've always been asked to do, just to finally have it be completed, even if it's 16 hours. I'm going to do some marathons of recording, you know, everything and talking through the process. I have a whole bunch of talking points I wrote down. Now it's just a matter of doing it and just getting cups of coffee, sitting there, seeing how long I can talk before my voice just expires. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Man. So let's see. If anyone has any questions about anything at all, just put them in the chat and I will bring them up and we'll talk about them. And yeah. And yes, Mike, if you go back to the signing stream, you probably can find your number as I sign it in that live stream. So, yeah. And that was a good time.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a good time. Dave, have you seen, or Dan, have you seen Unid Colors work? I don't know who that is. Dave, you know who that is?
Unid Colors work?
Yeah, UNID Colors.
No, I don't know what that is.
That reminds me, though, something I don't think I even told you yet, Dave, which is weird because I got preoccupied today with the Amazon stuff. I had a long talk last night with that guy who did all the realistic Pokemon.
Oh, I've talked to him before.
Yeah, I asked him if he wanted to maybe come on sometime and talk about his work and like all the stuff that came from doing those Pokemon. He's done 175.
Holy shit.
Crazy, right? But anyway, yeah.
That is really crazy. That's
a
lot.
He's gonna come on sometime in the near future to hang out and talk and answer questions and stuff, and it'll be really cool. It'll be a good time. Whoa. I like how the audio just stopped the second I clicked over to Skype. Stupid emulator. I clicked over to Skype to get his name because I know him. I know it's RJ. I just don't remember what his handle is on the forums and stuff. You feel like DeviantArt is nothing but weird anime art anymore. I mean, there's a lot of that, but that's not all it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of everywhere. There's like a portion of the audience that's going to be one thing or the other, you know. There's definitely stuff that I see that I go like,
Jacob Mobley says he's getting his book tonight, so stoked. Yeah, man, I'm glad you got your tracking number. I was talking to Jacob earlier. He thought that they just hadn't shipped it, but for anyone listening, in case it happened to you too, make sure you check your old email addresses because you might have backed the survey with that back in October. A lot of people thought they didn't get tracking, and then they checked their old emails and they found out that they did have tracking.
Yeah, you definitely, whatever email that there is on file that you sent to us is the email that does have a tracking number. Like, they are sending emails to every single person. It goes into a system and then just gets automated. So you do get something in your email. And if you're not seeing it, it might be in your spam folder or something like that, or an old email like Dan was saying, but you definitely got one.
Let's see. Spirit says, do you guys think fan art is bad for your portfolio? The opposite. Fan art is sometimes the best thing you can do to get found.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad for your portfolio. I mean, there's definitely people that, you know, like look down their nose at fan art, but overall, I would say a portfolio in general, you know, like, is pretty much fan art. Like, my portfolio has a bunch of client work, and what is client work if not basically fan art? It's like if I'm working on Ninja Turtles the movie and I post up the Ninja Turtles the movie concept art that I did in my portfolio right next to my fan art, you know, what's the difference between the two? You know, when you're looking at it in the sense of a portfolio, there's really no difference. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. You want to show that you can do that kind of work.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. You're going to be working as if you were, you know, doing your version of whatever that thing is anyway that you're working on. And that's pretty much what fan art is.
This is where I fight Dave, and he maybe beats me again. Oh yeah, guys, if you have if you have questions you want to ask me, just tag me. I'm Steve Lichman in the chat. Just tag me with those, and I'll see them easier.
Yeah.
Dan, I've been doing this 10-minute movie still study. Super fun, but it hurts sometimes when the timer goes off and there's just a little bit more I wanted to do. Yeah, that's the point, Ty. They're studies. They're not portfolio pieces, you know? The object of those isn't to finish them and have them look perfect. It's to see how much you can get done in the 10 minutes. You know, so keep going. You'll notice yourself getting faster really quickly.
Yeah, all that stuff's really good to just improve your speed and.
Yep, they help a lot.
Hopefully, and all that.
Hopefully they've been helping you, Ty. I know back when I was doing those, they helped a ton. It's just like, it's so funny in the beginning, like how little you can get done in the 10 minutes, and after like a month, it's, you know, it's still bad, but it's way better than when you start. This Pidgey's sand attacking.
It's a fun question.
Fuck out of me. Go ahead.
Jack Bong asks, Warcraft movie thoughts, Dan and Dave?
I mean, we didn't see it.
We didn't see it, but...
Yeah, we didn't see it, is the honest answer.
We can only go off like visuals and
I
like
can
our
say
initial take.
I can say without a doubt, I would have seen the movie if the entire thing was CG and they didn't put humans in it next to CG, because they didn't have the budget to make that look good, and it looks super awkward in the trailer and rubbery and weird. And like, after seeing what Blizzard can do, it's kind of a shame that the movie didn't look as good as their cinematics do for their games. Like, that's only the real big bummer for me, is the green screen shots look super green screeny, and like the orc stuff where everything's CG looks great. And it's like, okay, well, you should have just done the whole thing CG, because the Uncanny Valley thing is so crazy. That being said, if you're a fan of that movie, to see it done in like a Lord of the Rings style 3-hour epic or whatever is probably great for you. So, you know. But yeah, I don't know, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just don't think like this is just me. Like, you don't have to agree with this, but like, like, I don't know how many people watch Warcraft or play Warcraft just for the story. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like making a movie about it to me is kind of like a stretch to begin with. It's kind of like making a Double Dragon movie, but sticking to like the lore within the game.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to just making something brand new. Like, I don't think it's bad to make a Warcraft movie, but with like its own lore and stuff, like the one that's already in the game, like, I don't think that really warrants a movie. It's a little weird to me. But like, outside of that, yeah, what Dan said, like the big giant suits of armor like sitting on real people when they're stylized orcs with like that kind of look too, it's a little jarring. Like,
it's a little
weird to me. I wouldn't have done it that way, like Dan was saying. I think it'd be better to stick to full CG, even though I know that's crazy expensive, but like the armor ended up looking really plastic. Kind of silly. Like,
I'm not ready for this fight. This Pidgey is wiping me. Sand attack is OP. I didn't realize they were level 9 in this fight. Jesus. My god.
You fighting me in that?
Like, I'm fighting you, but you're like level 9, dude. I didn't realize you were so high.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ.
All day, I'll destroy you.
Killing me, man. Ah, finally. Fucking got a bubble off. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta get an Instagram. I know, Jack. I'm the worst. I got so many things I'm doing that's like absolutely last on my list, but I really do want one. Seeing all the Steve stuff that's gone up this week on Instagram's been like the coolest experience. I'm so glad people are getting the book and they're taking pictures and enjoying it. After 8 months of having no one see it but me and Dave, it's like a really crazy feeling.
It's amazing. It's like such a relief. I don't think I've ever felt that kind of relief from any kind of project. It's just, oh my god, really? Like,
right.
It's real?
I will say one thing about the Warcraft movie. My favorite thing about it so far, in terms of the reviews, is the amount of times I've seen people say it's definitely better than the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I'm like, that means nothing. Like, what? Like, it's better than the worst thing ever. Like, that, what are you talking about?
It's better than garbage.
And they're like, it's definitely the best video game movie ever. I'm like, next to, okay, it's better than Mario? Like, what do you... It means nothing. It's better than Resident Evil Annihilation. I don't even know if Annihilation is one of the titles.
High praise.
Best video game movie is Mortal Kombat, clearly. Nothing tops that.
Yeah.
Nothing tops that.
Nothing is as Sunday as that is.
Your Bulbasaur seeded my Pidgey, dude.
Yeah, that makes sense. Seeding all over that Pidgey.
Seeded that Pidgey. What was the worst part of the Kickstarter process? That's a good question.
The worst part of the Kickstarter process?
The unexpected fees.
Yeah, unexpected fees, and just like, I mean, it's not like, it isn't the Kickstarter specifically that's the hard part. Like, Kickstarter is kind of like what you expect, you know? Like you just kind of do it. Like it's not like you got to go searching for something. Like, they tell you that you're going to have to pay these fees and you're going to have to pay card fees and a certain percentage, whatever. It's when you move away from Kickstarter, if you're a self-publisher like we are, that things become crazier.
Right.
That's when you go, oh, we're in China now, and let's figure this out. Oh, there's Chinese holidays that restrict us from printing through these days, and you know, we can't control when they ship anyway. Like, and it's like you can do everything in your power to make sure nothing goes wrong, but you know, when it comes down to it, you're just not in control. So putting the book into other people's hands was the hardest part, for sure. Just like handing it over and being like, okay, now it's their turn, you know, like the relay race of publishing. It's like that part was the most frustrating. That took the most time. Yeah, it's definitely the worst. The worst of it was just how little control we had when it came to getting the books made, getting the books shipped.
Yeah, all the stuff that we could manage
tracking
ourselves was actually pretty doable. Like, that was the surprising part, was like, while it was in our hands, I was kind of surprised how smoothly stuff went. But once we handed it off to printers and then to Amazon and then to transit people on the boats and the trucks and stuff, anytime we weren't in direct control, anything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. Like, literally. So at least now we know that going into book 2. You know, instead of assuming it would be getting out by May this time, we're probably going to have to say July or August. Just because, I mean, if any of that stuff happens a second time, you know, it's going to push it way back. So that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, I mean, the most we can do is, like, you know, we'll say that it's coming out in July or August, but, you know, we could still come out and be like, hey, it's a little early. And we'd rather surprise people with something nice like that.
Yeah.
And have the backup plan be July or August than to promise too much and just not be able to deliver because, you know, we can't control those aspects of production and shipping. So, I mean, all in all, if we had known everything like we know now after having done it, it would have been okay. We could have factored in everything and been fine, but we didn't know, and that's just what it is. So
now we know. That being said, like, you know, we still delivered within 3 weeks of our goal, and those 3 weeks were literally from Amazon. So, like, we did pretty well. We're definitely going to take that into consideration with book 2, though, and give ourselves a good 2 or 3 month buffer just in case. But yeah,
because bad things happened this time, but like we still got it done. It still happened. People got the book, and all within a month of our initial expectations.
Right.
So
Orphic Whip, I can turn the game audio down, but it's going to turn Dave down too. So as long as you guys are cool with that, I just turned it down a little bit. Unfortunately, Twitch doesn't allow me to put Dave and the game on separate channels, so they're on the same channel.
Yeah, we're on a Mac. We're both on Macs. Yeah, and Dan doesn't have a dope emulator.
Don't have a dope emulator. Sorry, guys. Emulator's not dope. Let's see. Someone asked me when I was going to be looking at their portfolio. They said they were waiting. If you are the person who mailed it to me yesterday, and I said, I'm on a long drive, I'll look at it tomorrow, I will be looking at it tonight. If that isn't you, you might want to mail it to me again because I got like 8,000 messages about the Steve book, either shipping or not shipping, and it probably got buried. So just reach out to me again, and I'll be happy to look at it. ETA on the realism rendering tutorial thing, and price. Dave?
It's gonna be $10. And yeah, $10, 16 hours.
16
hopefully in the
hours.
I know it sounds stupid to say
16 hours. So if anyone's going on a road trip from Florida to New York and you want to listen to Dave,
yeah, you got that.
Throw that on. If anyone's got a flight from here to Spain or Actually, be further than that. What am I talking about? From here to India? 16
Well,
hours, jeez. If anyone's going to
it's gonna
London and
be
back,
it's gonna be probably another couple. I don't know, maybe like a week and a half, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and get it done sooner, but I don't know.
hmm
I do have a little bit of client work to do before we jump back into Steve Book 2,
hmm
and I want to just like get it done while I'm doing that in between. Hopefully soon.
let's see. What are our favorite comics, web comics out at the moment?
I don't read any.
I haven't been. I mean, aside from what Jake Wyatt's been doing, I haven't really been looking at many web comics because I've been too busy. I only see his stuff because I'm following him. But yeah,
But even then, we don't like read it. It's more if we just look at the artwork.
I look at it and I go, "Ooh, what a smart, beautiful, handsome human! Look at the things he's
Yeah, it's
doing."
weird. I don't really like. I don't get into comics that much. I like the quicker ones, obviously, like the funny ones, whatever. Like, I'll look at those because they're easy. But as far as like jumping into a story and getting involved and everything,
hmm
I don't really do that. There's too much other stuff to do. Like, we have so much work to do that like
Yeah,
I don't even
tons,
think about
tons of
any of that.
stuff, tons of stuff to do.
Like what I would like to do, but I don't even do is like if I had time, like play a game. But the most I'll do is read before bed or something, and that's not comics. I just read like novels and things,
hmm
historical stuff. That's where I get my entertainment.
Rattata may be small, but its bite is wicked.
Excuse
Okay.
me.
That's just what the lady said to me. I'm just repeating it.
Some homeless lady.
Is book one going to be reprinted? Yes, it is, and it will be re-released alongside book two in October for our second Kickstarter. On the Kickstarter page, let's see if I can grab it. Sorry, it's going to mute the game for a second.
Well, let
There's
me just say this too. If you go to stevelichman.com, there's a little white box at the top of the page, and you just put your email in there, and you can subscribe to the mailing list. But Dan just sent you that too. So
linked it in the chat. There's a mailing list to let you know when it goes live.
the link in the chat.
Whoa, Weedle. Totally. Again, if I miss any questions, just tag me in them. I'm Steve Lichman in the chat. Just tag me with them again and repost them, and I'll be happy to take a look at them. You guys have talked about the process of writing Steve Lichman is influenced by real-life conversation. How do you approach writing Starville or something not influenced by real life? I mean, it's still influenced by real life in terms of like how the characters act and stuff. We're still basing the people in it off of how people we know acted and how people react to things, and you know, it's still, even though it's out in space and it's like a sci-fi fantasy thing, it's still how people talk, how people interact is still rooted in, you know, people we know. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fantasy stuff, it might pull from some inspirations like here and there,
hmm
but it's mixed with other things. I mean, you want to like, I mean, I guess you just want to have your own style, but as far as writing goes, like we don't really pull from just like, I don't know, like I don't think I could ever really see something happen that wasn't like looped in with life or whatever, and then like just pull it into a story and make a whole world out of it, like I've heard like Stephen King do or whatever.
Yeah, I like that. Oh my god. I didn't know there were Kakunas in Pokemon Blue. What am I remembering wrong? What am I remembering wrong? It's okay. Let's see. Will you guys make emotes and sub badge? Yes, we're in the process of doing that now. It's just been a little slower than anticipated because our book's finally shipped and we're prioritizing that right now.
Yeah, that's right.
It's coming.
That is right.
Favorite books,
They are
fiction,
coming.
non-fiction? I mean, God, so many. I really like it. I really like the Tommyknockers. I've been reading a lot of Stephen King the past couple years, so those are like at the top of my list lately. Growing up, favorite book was The Hobbit. Still a very special spot for me. Devil in the White City's been great. I'm about halfway through that right now. That one's really good. Game of Thrones books are amazing. I've read those like twice. I don't know. What else you got?
Um, the
You
River of Doubt, the Teddy Roosevelt's Darkest Journey thing, Theodore. He, it's about his trip through the Amazon. It's pretty good. That book was pretty good. Uh, it's not my favorite though. Are you there, Dan?
I'm here.
Okay. It
Wow.
went so silent that I thought it was just over.
Oh no. What
Okay.
went silent? What happened?
It just my headphones was like dead silence.
Oh shit.
But
Okay.
okay. Another book that I think is like amazing, probably one of the best books I've ever read, is Unbroken. It's a World War II story about this guy who crash lands in the Pacific and survives just like the craziest journey. It's insane. Like that book is definitely one of the best books I've ever read. It's super inspiring and just like amazing. The whole thing's amazing. And
Mm,
another book I read recently is The Boys in the Boat, which is a little different. It's about crew, like rowing crew during the 1936 Berlin Olympics, and it's really just cool to, I don't know, read about that time period, like around the war, and yeah, I don't know. That's what I've been reading.
hey, Signalis is subscribed. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I hope you enjoyed your Dancing Dracula.
Yeah.
You earned it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Dave, how was your breakfast poop?
Um,
Is that a reference to
I
something?
guess it was all
They
right.
talking about something specific?
What is that? Hefesbro. Oh, I think that they messaged me. Um, they messaged me on Twitter or something the other day
Mm-hmm.
and said that they listen to everything I do. Like they're
Okay.
spying on me or something
Great.
about pooping.
Also good.
I mean, I don't care. If you're spying on me, that's totally all right.
Cool.
Spy away.
Any chance we can get Laserhawk on the stream? Yeah, probably someday, maybe. Yeah, I'd love to talk to Laserhawk. He's a beautiful, beautiful human. Oh, let's see. Any update on Skull and Shark, or ideas on how you guys will approach it if it's still a thing versus the image that are already out? It is still a thing, but we're not really gonna talk about it anytime soon. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a thing. That's it. It's happening.
that's all we can say.
We have our self-publishing company. You know, we're established.
We're
You know,
established. We
we're
put a
super
book out. We
cool
got credibility
fellas.
now. We put our book out. We got credibility, and now we got to put another book out, get some more credibility. Maybe a third book for some credibility. What do I want to get
Yeah,
rid
it's all
of?
still happening. Like, let me just say this before we move away from it. It's really important if you haven't, like, we want to stay independent. Like, that's a big part of all of this. Like,
Yeah.
we want to be able to do this on our own, and it's a little harder, but it's worth it. So, we're putting in the legwork now to make sure that we can stay independent for the long haul. So, being able to do a book like Steve, which production wise is a little simpler as far as the approach, you know, the style, the time that we can put it out, like having a property like that we can work on and we love, like that's, you know, we didn't plan on doing that, but it's just what happened. And we're super happy and it's working out because we're able to do something like that to establish ourselves. And then going forward, we're going to be able to have at least a little bit of reputation, like Dan was saying, so that we're more trusted when we move into doing stuff like Skull and Shark. And hopefully by then we've had enough support with Steve that we're able to take time off to focus on that book and just get it out. when we do have the, when we are able to. Yeah, that's the plan though.
That's the thing with Skull and Shark is it's a more niche thing. So like we want to have as many people know who we are before we do that as possible because it's going to help it. But yeah. Let's see. Worst era of your life or art career so far? Oh my god. I mean, they're different of life or art career? God. I don't know, you go first.
Worst part of my life was definitely when I was like 16. I think that was probably the worst because I like left home. Like I would stay with Dan sometimes.
Yeah.
I would stay with like my ex from high school. I would stay with like these drug dealer dudes. I'd stay, just like all over the place. And it was really shitty and lame. But like I did that for a little while and while I was in high school. And then as far as career goes, definitely the period of like starting to get going. As I, like initially started to get freelance, it's like you're working super hard. Like the hours I used to put in when I couldn't paint fast and I had to like constantly be chasing things because, in order to pay my rent, I would need to do like 10 jobs a month or something like that. And that was just so hard, like to maintain that pace. It was miserable. But yeah, paying bills and all that, and like having to borrow money and just like pay people back and like
I used to
drowned, nobody being able to pay for me anything.
I don't know what was worse, when I went out to Peoria because you were so alone, or when I drove up into the mountains in the winter because you were all alone. They were both pretty. They were both pretty bad. Peoria might have been worse. You didn't even have a car.
Peoria.
You didn't even have a car in Peoria.
No, I didn't have a car in
That
Peoria.
was insane. You had to like walk. You had to like walk to the supermarket and bring like a shopping cart back with you. Like that was nuts.
Well, I never brought a shopping cart back, but I did have to.
I thought you did.
No, we just used backpacks.
Oh, right. Yep. Right.
But yeah, that was miserable.
That was darkness.
I don't know. I've been through a lot with the freelance stuff. Do you have a worst?
I mean, I've got a lot of worsts. I don't know. Trying to think of like
What's your favorite worst?
Trying to think of what the bottom is. I think the worst ever was the summer my family sent me to live with my extended family in Illinois. And they live way out in the middle of like farmland bean fields, and like this was before internet. Like people had internet, but like it was like AOL dial-up, and a lot of people didn't have internet, and none of them had internet. This was like, I don't know, like 98, around there somewhere. And I went out there for a couple months and just lived in Illinois with my uncles on bean fields, and like they were never around, so it was basically just my cousins taking care of me and stuff. And like I saw some true darkness out there. Saw some true darkness.
The swamp village or whatever. It was
yeah,
like
there's an old town in Illinois, or it might have been in Kentucky because we drove back and forth between the two a lot. There was an old town there that was a mine where they were like using a lot of TNT, dynamite and stuff back in like turn of the century times. And something happened where like there was a cave-in, and the town became a ghost town because everybody left after the cave-in. There was like this big explosion and a bunch of people died. And we drove through that because my uncle thought I would enjoy it and thought it was like cool. So we're driving through in his van, and I'm looking at all the old buildings that are like all destroyed and like grown over out in this like swamp basically, and way out in the woods. The road's all shitty and everything. And I'm hearing like these like what I assume is branches hitting the van as we're driving through. And I'm like, that's really like crazy that like the trees are so bad and stuff. And he said, oh yeah, no, that's not trees. And I was like, what? And he wouldn't tell me what it was. And I think I know why he wouldn't tell me what it was, but The reason is I'm incredibly scared of snakes. It's like one of the only things I'm actually like afraid of in like a real way. And eventually, I heard something hit the truck, and then I saw a cottonmouth wiggle down the windshield, and I was like, oh, and he was like, yeah, it's all snakes. They're up in the trees and they're falling down on the van. And I was like, oh, fucking kill me, like just fuck, like oh my god, get me out of here. And I remember when we got out of the woods and we stopped at this like convenience store to get gas. He wanted me to get out of the van to get water, and I wouldn't get out of the van because I was scared there was still one on top of the vehicle, and it was gonna like fall off when I got out and bite me or something. So I just wouldn't get out of the van. I just refused to get out of the van, and yeah, that gave me like nightmares. It's to this, like I still think about it sometimes and how fucking gross it was. So many fucking snakes out there. Hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I hate it.
Well,
hate
your family has like a fear of snakes in general.
Well, that's because
of all the horrible stuff.
Yeah, my father lost 2 siblings, a brother and a sister, to snake bites when he was a kid. So him and his family are all really like, terrified of snakes. And when I stayed at my one uncle who's a Baptist, what is it, minister? Is it minister for baptism? He has like a congregation that he's in charge of, and I stayed at his house, and he was never there because he was out doing church stuff. And that's the air conditioner story, right? Yeah, I was there, and I wasn't allowed to leave the house because he had a barn in the back that was like this old barn from the 50s, and he had like a koi pond and stuff in the backyard, and I wanted to check that stuff out, and I wasn't allowed to leave the house, and the reason was cottonmouths had gotten into the koi pond and killed all the fish, and it was full of snakes now. And the barn was also full of snakes. And if anyone knows what a chigger is a bug that bites you and burrows into your flesh, and then it lays eggs in your flesh, and then the babies hatch, and they keep eating your flesh and tunneling further into your skin. And the only way to get rid of them, I think, is to take a bath in, like, salt water for 8 hours or something. Like, oh my god, those are, like, these disgusting bugs from down there that you can get if you walk around in tall grass. And, yeah, everything about being in Illinois sucked. I'm sorry if anyone listening is from Illinois, but I fucking hated it. So, yeah.
I lived in Illinois for a little while. Wasn't great for me either.
The place that my family's from is called Anna. Someone asked where in Illinois. It was a place called Anna. Really, really small town. I think it was pretty much all bean farmers. But yeah, really terrible. My uncle who had the congregation, the Baptist minister, the air conditioner thing was, one day he made me go out to what he called spread the word. We're going to spread the word, and he made me go, forced me to go. And he had a truck full of, like, really cheap air conditioners in the back. And we went to this town that was pretty much entirely... It was really weird. It was like a town in the middle of nowhere that was super poor, like crazy impoverished. And it was called Thebes, I think. It was in this weird part of Illinois where all the towns are named after Egyptian towns. And I don't know why that is, but it was in this weird stretch of Illinois, and it was called Thebes. And I want to Google that now to make sure I'm right, because I could have sworn it was called Thebes. And what they did was they knocked on doors of these super poor people, and they were like, it's really hot today, and it was like over 100. It was like middle of August in Illinois. And they would offer them a free air conditioner if they joined the congregation. And it was like the worst. Like, I hated that. I hated that so much. So, like, basically, I was going door to door to these complete strangers that fucking hated us, and my uncle would dangle an air conditioner in front of them, but they'd have to join his church before he'd give it to them. And I just felt like human trash. I was like, this is the worst thing ever. So, yeah. That was like the worst day. Just carrying air conditioners in like over 100 heat. And having people hate us because we were holding air conditioning hostage for like them joining a church. But yeah.
That's pretty dark.
That was probably the worst time of like, worst stretch of life. That was like, Trying to think of what else happened in that 3-month period that was awful. That was when I got in the pool and I was swimming around, and a guy got in the pool behind me, and he swam over to me, and I was like 12, and he was like obviously 40, and he was just smiling and staring at me, and I was like, "Who are you?" And he kept getting closer, and I was like, "Who are you?" And I was getting freaked out, and he was like, "Don't you recognize me? I'm your cousin." And I was like, "No, I've never met you." And he was like, "You haven't aged a day." And I'm like, "That's impossible. I'm 12. When's the last time you saw me?" It must have been like 2. So anyway, I get out of the pool because he's freaking me out, and my uncle pulls me aside, and he's like, "That's your cousin. That's your cousin." I'm not going to say his name on here just in case anyone in my family's listening. But he said, "Yeah, that's your cousin. He just got out of prison. Don't go near him." He said, "We don't know what happened in there, but he hasn't been the same since he got out. Stay away from him." And I was like, "Oh, great. Great. Awesome."
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway, there's way more to that story. I'm not going to keep going on that tangent. So many things happened in Illinois that summer. God, I hated it. When I got dropped off, I just said I wouldn't continue on it. I'm just telling Dave because he remembers
What were you gonna say?
when I got dropped off at my Uncle Terry's house and he just wasn't there. You're gonna stay with your Uncle
When was
Terry.
that?
You're gonna stay with your Uncle Terry for 2 weeks, and they dropped me off, and then Terry just wasn't there, and I was just alone in the house for 2 days with nobody. And then Terry's son Nate showed up, my cousin Nate, and he was like, "Danny, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm supposed to be living with Terry, but Terry's not here, so I've just been eating his food and watching HBO." And then me and my cousin Nate hung out for the duration of the 2 weeks, and I think I saw Terry once. Like, he was just never there he was supposed to be babysitting his 12-year-old nephew, and he just never showed up. But the best part of that is in like the 10 days I was with Nate in the 2 weeks at Terry's house, I want to say 4 different women showed up at all weird hours of the night, and they'd get out of their car screaming Terry's name, and they'd throw rocks at the house and stuff, and like, "Terry! Terry, you some bitch!" And I'd be like, "Terry's not here." And then they'd throw something and hit the door, and Nate'd be like, "He's not here! Bitch, he's not here!" And like all these women around town he had like met at bars and slept with that were all like thought they were gonna marry him and fucking hated him, started showing up, and like one of them smashed up his car in the front yard, and we were just inside watching like, well, nothing we can do. Like, yeah, living at Terry's was great. Great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Illinois is a weird place. Illinois is like, I went to the Walmart there, and we were walking around Walmart, and then like, I seen the normal people, whatever, but every so often, and pretty often, you see people just wearing overalls with nothing else underneath.
Yeah,
just a dude,
my Uncle
all
Buddy.
fat, nothing else underneath.
Yeah, when I got dropped off for the week I was going to stay with my Uncle Buddy on his bean field, when I got dropped off, I'd never met him before, and he was sitting on his front porch in a rocking chair wearing just a pair of overalls with a shotgun. And that's Buddy. He wasn't wearing a shirt, his tits were just out, just a gross denim pair of overalls and a John Deere hat and a shotgun. Just that's it. That was my introduction to Buddy. There you go.
It's pretty good.
His wife made really good chicken and dumplings though, so it's okay.
Yeah, Buddy's a good guy.
Good old Buddy. Someone said they live 2 hours away from Anna. I'm so sorry. Then there's my uncle. My uncle.
Like
remember when I sent you those photos, Dave, of my uncle who's a clown, but he's a hobo clown, and he's
it's a
also
fucking nightmare.
He's a hobo clown, but he's also in the mason. He's like a high-level Freemason. So
Right.
he'll just disappear.
So he's a wizard.
Yeah, he'll just disappear for unknown durations of time doing Mason stuff, and he never tells anyone where he's going, but he's a hobo clown. Like, I don't know. I don't know where my uncles come from. They're terrible.
He had one that, I don't know, sometimes I brought this story up and you don't remember it exactly the same way, but the
What,
one
the Avenging
about,
Angels?
Huh?
The Avenging Angels?
No, the Avenging Angels is a perfect story, but No, not the Avenging Angels. The one where your uncle stole a bunch of money and then he like stole like hot dogs and started selling hot dogs like
Yeah,
on the street. He stole
Mhm.
like a hot dog truck or he bought
No,
it
no,
with the
no.
money. I can't remember.
My dad had a restaurant, and my uncle would steal from my dad had a restaurant, and my uncle would steal from my dad all the time, and steal money from him and blame it on other people, and like they didn't realize it was him the whole time, basically. And one of the scams my uncle pulled was that he'd say that hot dogs were selling really well at the restaurant. We're gonna have to order more hot dogs, and my dad would do inventory and buy like a couple hundred hot dogs or 1,000 or whatever for their diner. And then he would sneak in at night, steal all the hot dogs, and then he would sell the hot dogs around town at like hot dog stands that he had like set up. Like, so he'd have my dad buy hundreds of dollars of hot.
Idea.
Dude, it's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb. These scams that my Uncle Clint would pull before he got run out of town. Like, oh my god, man. Steal all them hot dogs. Sell them.
Everybody knows that's how you make money. Selling hot dogs.
Well, I just remember the funny part of that story is the part that I can't quite remember, which is how mad my dad got when he told me the story, and my mom got, because my dad walked me through the math. He was like, "You buy a couple hundred hot dogs, and it's like 25 cents a hot dog, and he's selling them for $3 a piece." And he's like freaking out about the math of it. And I'm like, this is horrible. I can't listen to this. Oh god.
Such a good story.
Again in the chat,
Dog thief.
if you want us to talk about anything in particular and not just keep talking about Anna, Illinois, just tag me, Steve Lichman, in the chat, and I will happily answer your question. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Who came up with the
Yes.
character concept for Flay? His I Slay line is my favorite. I mean, we both came up with the concept for him. He's based on like 3 people that we grew up with, little bits of 3 different people. But yeah.
Yep. He's just a mix of a bunch of different things that happened to us. Like everything in the book, they're not all one for one. They're, obviously we exaggerate stuff. But like for the most part, a lot of the stories in the book and the way characters talk, the experiences and things like that, they're all based on real people or real events or just something that happened to us.
Yep. Let's see. How do you feel about Dragon Ball Super? Neither of us know what that is.
Dragon Ball Super? I think I've seen like pictures from it. The
Is it a fighting game?
The art for it isn't very good. The art is the thing that stuck out to me. Like the animation quality is like dipping hard.
Oh, it's a show?
I'm pretty sure that's what they're talking about. I saw like that stuff, and I know that they went back and
Is that the
fixed
thing
some
where
things.
like didn't they make like a new Frieza movie or something last year? I remember when everybody was sharing that. It was like actually in movie theaters. I remember that. I didn't see it, but I remember when it happened. I'm not gonna answer questions about stuff that happened in the book just because some people haven't gotten their book yet and I want them to be able to read it. So sorry about that.
No spoilers, please.
I'd love to keep talking about that stuff, but I can't do it.
We'll talk about it more when we get closer to like the next Kickstarter in a little while.
Yeah.
Because we gotta, and we need your help too, We gotta get the hype going for the next book.
Yeah,
so
help
if
us
you really
hype it
liked
up.
Steve Lichman book 1, we're trying to get our self-publishing thing going.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be hyping it up a lot.
We laid the groundwork, now we gotta do book 2.
Yeah, we just need help hyping. If you like the book, tell your friends. We'd appreciate it. Orphic Whip asks, how old are you guys?
29.
Yeah, do you know that I'm 29?
I know that. I
just
do know
found out
that.
I just found out I was 29 the other day.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with some. What were we doing? I don't know. Me and Kim were somewhere, and somebody asked how old I was,
Mhm.
and I went, "I'm 28."
And Kim went, no.
And she went, "No, you're not. You're 29." And
Yeah.
I went, "Holy shit, I'm 29." And she was like, "Yeah." And I was
Dude.
like, "What?
You want to hear something dark?
How long have I been 29?"
In 3 weeks,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 30.
Yeah.
Dude, dark. Fucking dark.
It's not that dark.
No, it is. It's half over.
We made a book before 30, though. How about that?
Some people won't get it till I'm 30, though. So not really. People in the Philippines won't get it till like August 1st, which sucks. How's the progress on book 2 coming? The whole thing's written. It was originally part of book 1. So like originally all of book 2 was going to be part of book 1, and then we found out that that was going to be like a 600-page book. And we were like, oh, that's impossible. So let's cut it in half, and we found a good place to end book 1 that felt natural. But book 2 is all written. We're just working on it now to have, as much of it done as possible before we kickstart it, because, we like to not take any risk with that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, book 2 is like, if you liked book 1 and you already got it, or, if you read it in a little bit and you like it, book 2 is like, well, we had to obviously set the groundwork for the whole series, so that's what book 1 is.
Yeah.
Because the beginning of book 1, we didn't know it was going to be a book at first. So like the first, 9 issues or something like that, we didn't really know it would be a humongous book. And then when we decided it'd be a huge book, we started, pulling all that stuff together, expounding upon like the arcs that were already happening. And then we made the book and wrote the whole thing. And it is what it is now. And if you like that, the next book, since it's planned to be a book, it's like 380 pages. And so it's basically almost double what the last book was. Then, we're going to be diving into the story, more characters, more places. As you read through book 1, you see where they go and like what happens and the variety of stuff. It's going to be like that, and lots of character development and new things that happen. We're like so excited about it. With anything, I feel like if you're working at it, like you're constantly improving. And we didn't really know everything what we were doing in book 1. We're proud of it, but like with book 2, we've hit our stride a bit.
Yeah, it's actually like
we're just flying.
Book 2 is very much
like
a book from start to finish. Book 1 starts a little weird because the first issues were like webcomic-y, but like book 2 is like a complete. We feel a lot better about it just in terms of it as like a product. Like it feels like a book.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, there's definitely one-off comics in it, like the way that we did the first book, how there's ones that happen, like, if you've seen it, the kind of like anything with Ben and Mandusa, stuff like that is going to be all over book 2. Like, we have a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Just like weaved into the story. And then the story itself is just, I'm so excited.
Yeah, book 2 is, we like book 2 way better.
I hate how excited we get.
Yeah, I like book 2 a lot better than book 1, but we'll see. We'll see how people feel, I guess. Oh god. One of my Crimson Crucible
sent us messages about it.
Yeah, thank you. All the pictures and stuff going up everywhere have been great. Like, that's really cool. Thank you so much, and please keep doing it. It's really helping a lot. Judging Crimson Crucible 04 is Tuesday night, I believe, 4 p.m. My time, so 4 p.m. EST, I think is when we're doing that. So yeah. Did Dan ever have to be rebuilt with a machine body after a warehouse shootout, like we said in the delay warning? Yeah, that's why the book got delayed. Actually, I fought Clarence Bodiger, and it was a close call, but I won. he dropped some rebar on me, but I ended up stabbing him through the throat with my USB stick thing. So yeah, worked out.
Yeah. I mean, it's the craziest part though is the memories Dan keeps having about the family.
Yeah, like I keep seeing
That's my favorite part.
My wife walks up to me occasionally in flashes and goes, "I want to tell you something," and I'm like worried that she's mad, and then she goes, "I love you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. It's cool that
But
my
you don't
family
find
loves
that
me."
out for a little while.
Yeah,
which is
that's
crazy. That you didn't, like, you were
Yeah.
like, oh my god, were things bad before the end?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like maybe I deserved to become a dead robot man, but it turns out I didn't at all. My family actually fucking loved me, but
So that happened, and then the book came out. But
I went to a cool club to fight one of the guys, and the music was like, it was pretty good. Pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Electro. You go look it up. But yeah. Did I cry in the Pokemon episode when Butterfree left Ash for a hoe? That wasn't a hoe. Butterfree was in love. Bye Bye Butterfree was a great episode. Next.
I'm gonna read some of the other ones.
You're not working?
I am. I'm just finished my first one for the thing. I'm about to send it off to the client. But Vox or Vooks says goals before you're 40. Damn.
My goals?
Well, what happened when we were 20?
Well, I mean, I'm running out of time to find a woman who'll put up with me and have a family with me, so maybe that.
Yeah.
Not die alone is definitely on the priority list.
Yeah, that's a dope goal.
See, not die alone and see Europe. There you go.
You either don't die alone, or you live long enough to die lonely.
Yes.
Goals before 40. Have kids. Have a house.
That's a goal? Have kids? That's like a... You could knock that one out tomorrow.
It's what I expect. That's all I'm saying. I expect to have those things accomplished. Life to be moving. Things to be happening.
Got it.
As far as work goes, I want us to be a publishing company. I want us to have sold movie rights and things. We already have stuff like that in the pipeline right now.
Actually, that's a cool thing.
It works out.
How many... Okay, so let's think here. In the next 10 years, realistically, how many books do you think we could finish of the ones that we want to finish? Like 5?
Oh, way more than that.
You think more than that? That'd be one every 2 years. You think we could do like 7?
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be really cool, actually. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, we could probably get everything on our list that we want to do done, but of course we're going to come up with like 8 more things we want to do in the process.
I mean, neither of us die. But
it's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I don't know, it's more than reasonable. We'll have book 2 done before we're 30, pretty much.
If I die...
30.
Yeah, if I die, I just become a character in the Steve book. I become a ghost. It's all cool.
Yeah.
Might actually be...
3.
In terms of like social media, it might actually be better, like strategically, for me to die and become a character in the book. Because then we can get all those cool BuzzFeed things that are like, one author of this book series dies, and what his partner does next, I'm crying. Like we can get all those posts, all those clickbait posts.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like indie comic writer immortalized in the pages of his own work by loving partner. Like, you'd actually be better off if I died. Now that I think about it.
It's true. I mean, in more ways than one.
So goal before 40. Goal before 40, die. For Steve.
The legacy you'd leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I can map this out right now. Book 1 is done. We've already put out 1 book.
Mm-hmm.
Book 2 will be done the end of this year, whatever. We're gonna be good. Book 3, the year after that. So you'll be 31, I'll be 30.
Well, we might wait on book 3, remember? Do you still want to jump right into book 3?
We got to finish book 3 and then we wait.
Okay. I
Book
thought
3
we
is our cliffhanger book.
got it.
You
Got
hear that,
it.
everybody?
Now, we have plans all the way to like book 6. Like we could do
Yeah,
6 books.
there's 5 that are ready to go. 2 is written, 3 is planned out. We know what 4 and 5 are, but we haven't written them yet, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we may
planning
take
on
a
5.
small break because we're going on like a ridiculous pace right now.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I don't know if you understand. I do like 60 pages a month.
hmm
Just shoot me in the head.
We're turning out 60 pages a month, plus all the other stuff, because I'm coloring it, and then on the side, I'm also writing stuff for future projects and managing things on the Kickstarter, and like we're working at a pretty ridiculous pace right now. So we obviously that's not going to be something sustainable, but yeah,
Maybe.
sustainable
We'll
for a
die.
couple years. But then after a couple years, we're going to need to figure something out.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that in the next, let's see, next year, book 2 will be out. And then the year after that, book 3 will be out.
hmm
And next year, when book 2's out, I'll be 30, you'll be 31. Book 3, 32, 33, 31, 32, 33.
There you go.
What?
31, 32, 33.
I got lost in the 30s.
I know. You're losing me with the math.
Okay, all I'm saying is that before 35, we'll have at least, I don't know, 4 books done.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then after that, we can finish another 5. If
And
we
then in
started
our-
writing books, like straight up writing books,
Yeah.
we could get way more books done.
Oh yeah, if we switched over to novels, yeah.
Like if we wrote novels, we could write like 1,000 novels.
Maybe that's what we need to do.
Yeah, we need a way to write things faster.
Yeah. Oh god.
Because
Even thinking.
the cool thing about the books is they're freaking huge. Like, it's a huge book to get done in a year. To get
Yeah.
a 300-page book done in a year, 188 pages.
hmm
I know.
Uh-oh. I'm losing you. Robot audio. Oh,
You losing
no.
me?
I'm losing you. Keep talking. Oh no, David. Oh no,
Hello.
David. Oh no.
Hello. I don't know what's happening to me. Am
Stupid
I changing?
robot voice.
Is this life?
Oh. You sound like a computer that's dying in a sci-fi movie.
Daniel.
Gonna need to hang up and call me back. It's falling. Falling apart. Oh, that was good. That was really good. Hey,
Hey.
that was so stupid. You went, yo.
I don't know. I figured I'd use the character while I was working.
Yeah, man. Gotta use that character.
Okay. Tim's 2 Sneakers says, or asks,
Sweet name. Great name.
in book 1, is there an explanation of how Dracula became a dick?
Well, let's put it this way. When you're growing up with your friends and one of them suddenly becomes a dick, is there an explanation?
Sometimes.
Usually not.
You usually learn it when you grow up.
Usually they just kind of become a dick. And you're like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. Orphic Whip asks, how long does the all I do is study because I'm not confident in creating anything original phase last?
I mean, it lasts as long as you decide it's going to last, because you're the person who's making the decision to only do studies every day. That's on you. So like, you could end that right now if you decided to just open your sketchbook and start creating stuff. The first few things you're going to create don't have to be good. The first few things that Dave and me created weren't good. Like, you learn by kind of failing up and figuring things out as you go. So like just start, because the sooner you start, the faster you're going to get to a point where you're actually happy with it. So like if all you're doing is studying and not doing personal stuff, you're doing yourself no favors, because you're not applying any of those studies. You feel like you're getting better because you're making progress in terms of the number of PSDs on your hard drive. Like you're doing studies and they're stacking up, but you're not applying any of that, so you're actually not moving forward. You're kind of just spinning your tires. So like, stop doing that. Even if you think you're not ready, that's okay. You're never gonna feel ready. You just kind of have to do it. But yeah, stop like getting freaked out about the not good enough thing, because tons of people do that and they end up never starting because they talk themselves out of it. But yeah, I mean, that's my
it's
advice.
Good
on it.
enough. Good enough is all in your head. It's just, if you have a good idea, you like what you do, you're having fun, that's, all that matters, really.
Mm-hmm.
And you improve your skills along the way and you get better. Like, we could do Steve at any skill level, really, as long as we were just writing stuff. Like, it's kind of up to you what you do and, how you go about making it happen.
Yeah, like most of the most popular webcomics aren't drawn super technically well. They just find a really easy style where they can put out a lot of stuff very quickly, very economic style, and they just go with that. Like that whole I have to be super good before I do anything mentality is really just from the concept art, like illustration community. And like, it's really not true. It's just something they all sort of buy into, and like we've bought into it too, so we understand, but it's not merited, because the most popular comics that travel online are the ones that are the simplest, because by default the simpler it is, the more people can access it and understand it, because the barrier to entry is much lower. So like, think about that. How many super successful IPs and comics do you see on the internet shared around on social media that are super tightly rendered and perfectly drawn, and like the lighting and the technical stuff is excellent? There's none. And the reason there's none is because not enough people could access that to really get it, because it would come off as intimidating and weird and something you had to understand. It would feel too niche to get into it. So yeah, just start framing your thinking out of that concept art illustration mentality that we all kind of get into, and start looking at it in terms of creativity doesn't need to have a certain quota to be merited. You can just be creative and that's enough. You don't have to hit a certain level of excellence before you start creating.
Nope. Thomas asks, if you guys became a publishing house, would you collab with other writers or artists, or just keep it between you two?
Depends on what the collab was, but I mean, we have so many ideas that we want to do ourselves. We probably wouldn't like publish other people's books, but like, I don't know, like if Jake wanted to do a one-shot where an Acropolis girl meets Steve, sure. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, like, we're gonna be super dead before we finish everything we want to do.
Yeah.
And we need to not be dead.
Do we believe acceptable comics will get as big as Marvel and DC? I would never want it to, so no. I would never ever want it to be that big. Should I like explain that, or is that understandable?
Sorry, you can explain that. I just got an email.
Oh, okay. Is anything important? You gotta go?
This poor lady.
What happened? Is it a book thing?
Yeah.
What happened?
I guess it doesn't matter if I read this on here. I'm not saying her name. Her son got a Steve Lichman book, and he left it at her house. This is the mom of the dude who bought it, and he was going to get it as a gift to his girlfriend. And she said, I wanted to read it, so she started reading it, and she accidentally put her drink on the book, on the back of it, and condensation got into the cover.
Destroyed it.
And she's all upset, so she wants to know if there's any way she can buy it on Amazon or something to replace it in time.
I mean, we can give her one of the extra ones, I guess. I just don't want to make it we only have like a couple hundred extras. and those are supposed to
Yeah.
last us the rest of our life. You know, like there's no more there's no more first editions after that. You know what I mean? They're done. There's only a set number of extras. But yeah, I mean, we should probably send her one.
Yeah, I'll ask her for her address.
I just wish I didn't say that live on the internet, because now if anyone else has a problem, they're gonna go, well, that lady got one, and I'm gonna go, whoops. Whoops. If anyone's listening, take care of your book. We don't.
I mean, we really can't. Like, the only
No.
reason we could even attempt to replace it now is because we don't have all of our extra stock in hand.
Yeah,
It's
we don't
still
have it.
at Amazon.
hmm I mean, there's
But,
going to be
yeah.
a second edition of the book. If people, like, I would be okay giving people those when those come out. Like, we'll give her one, yeah,
Right.
but, like, in the future, if anyone needs another copy of the book, we're fine giving you, like, a second or third edition of it. We're going to be reprinting it. That's totally fine. But, yeah. We didn't order a ton of extra books because we couldn't afford it at the time. So we only have, like, a couple hundred that we're splitting between the two of us. That does suck though, because we went with like the cloth cover that if something does spill on it, it's never coming out. Pewter City.
Yeah, I know, you just can't ignore a lady like that.
I
Feels
know.
too crazy.
How would you organize the project if you got to draw 100 XY concepts? I don't know what XY is. For example, you get the job to deliver 100 gladiator concepts for a game. How do you approach? Asking because just starting can be a terrible idea because of the repetition, etc. I mean, I've been asked to do similar stuff for the miniatures company I work for, where they'll make a new army that's themed on like Greek people, like ancient Greek society, and they'll say, you know, we're gonna need 35 units for this group. And usually the way I start, it depends on if you're doing flat concept art like turnarounds and orthos and stuff like that, because then you can't really do anything with the poses. They're just looking at costumes. But if you're doing something like I've done, what I always do is I start with very loose sketches for poses, and I'll just do tons of those for each unit. I'll be like, okay, we need 10 infantry. Here's 30 sketches for infantry. Pick 10 of them. And then they'll be like, okay, we need like 10 people with bows and arrows. I'll do a bunch of sketches for those. They'll pick some. I'll do some for the commanders and for the higher level characters. And I'll just do like 100 sketches basically. Then they'll pick the ones they want. And then after that, I'll do tight drawings on top of those. Then when they approve the tight drawing, I'll go in and I'll start rendering them. And I usually do them by groups. I'll do like, you know, all the people in one group first, because you can copy a lot from each of them. And, you know, the color palette's right there while you're doing it. And yeah, like then I'll do the next unit after that, and that's kind of how I organize it. I break it all down, do all the sketches first, make sure that they're not too repetitive. Then I break them down into units, and I start rendering up all the units, and when one's done, I move on to the next one and the next one. So it's kind of the same way we do the comic pages, where we'll talk over the script and figure out all the beats that need to be in it, and then Dave will do rough sketches of what the pages are going to look like. We'll look at them, figure out what needs to change. Then he'll do the drawing, I'll do the colors, then we'll finalize it and put it in the PDF. And like breaking it down into manageable steps where you can see the whole project as a whole before you go in and start doing individual pieces really helps, because you get a sense of scale for how much there is to do, how much is left to do. You can always zoom out of it if you do it that way and go, okay, how much have I actually done versus how much needs to get done? And it really helps. If you do one concept at a time and work your way up to 100, I feel like that'll drive you crazy. Maybe that works for some people, but I mean, I can't do that when I get those jobs where I need to do like 40 things at once. But yeah, I hope that helps. It's a really tough thing, but you can definitely figure it out and get used to it.
Yeah, I focus on silhouettes. I just do like a handful of like strong silhouettes that are all pretty different. and then you just kind of work around that kind of thing. If you have like a bunch of the same kind of, like I worked on a Paragon for Epic Games, so if you've seen that, like they changed the direction. Mine was more like 70s kind of sci-fi feeling,
Yeah.
but I had to design just a variety of characters for that game. I designed like around a little over 60 characters, and when I was working on that game, I just focused on silhouettes and just distinctive designs, and then you just kind of like find variations between them as you go. You just like come up with strong shapes first and then build off of that. Because in a game or whatever where there's that many concepts, they need to be distinguishable from one another. That's really important. And yeah, like if you look at Overwatch, the way that the characters are designed, the way that the silhouettes work, you can see that they're all different and easy to see the difference between them when you're playing the game. Like when everybody's on the map, they're all clearly designed to stand out from one another. And that's really important when you're doing a lot of concepts.
Is the book made from China? Yes, it is.
We found the sweatiest shop we could. And we
Sweatiest shop.
said, what's the age at that place? And they said, the median age for the worker is about 10. And I said, not good enough. So we went to the second sweatiest shop.
We need the youngest fingers.
We had 8-year-olds.
We need the youngest fingers possible to get the level of detail in the gold foil. Smaller the fingers, the more detail. Make it happen.
Yes.
Now, we found a great guy, Mark Vieira, on themark.net. If anyone wants to get anything printed or is thinking of doing a book and wants to get quotes, he managed the whole thing for us, dealt with the team in China he has connections with, managed all the shipping, made sure we got the gold leaf the way we wanted it, helped us create the custom foil stamp for the inside. He is awesome. He did great stuff. So, on themark.net, his name is Mark Vieira. The book is made in China, but he's the guy that managed the whole thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mark was really, really awesome. He helped us with everything.
Yep.
So if you want to make a book, go with Mark.
He found a way to do everything
the thing is
we wanted.
You can even go with somebody who like we had the option at one point to go with somebody who actually like owned the facility in China.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal. With that, you don't have somebody who's actually helping you every step of the way, who deals with all the shipping and imports and all that, and you need it. So Mark has really crazy good rates, and he's just easy to work with and super understanding, patient. But yeah.
Because one of the things that people don't think about, we sold, over 10 times the amount of books we planned on selling, and, to us, that's a huge success. And to the art community, selling over 7,000 books is a really big deal, and that's a really good thing. But to these warehouses in China that make hundreds of thousands of books every day, that is nothing. So, like, if you don't have someone who has connections with the shop, working in the shop, who knows the people and can get you some kind of priority and really, like, vouch for you and keep on top of it, you become the lowest priority thing on their list, because they're not going to care about your 7,000 books if they've got a contract to do 500,000 for another company. You're always going to be at the end of their list because they can push you off till later because you're the least amount of money they're making. So, like, having Mark know the people there and handle the whole thing was really, really beneficial. I would recommend doing that to anyone who's going to be making a book overseas, is to hire someone to manage the thing that actually knows the people. Because otherwise, like I was just saying, you never know what they're going to do. Even with the lunchboxes, like, they've already delayed the lunchboxes a few times in the past because, there's only 100 lunchboxes getting made, and, the people making them are doing orders for lunchboxes that are in the hundreds of thousands. They don't care about our 75, so when they actually made them, it was a couple weeks off, but that's the thing is, you need someone on top of it to make sure those things don't stack up.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pull girls like Dracula? Hang around, trailer parks. Get a cool car.
Confidence.
What's a good picking up girls in a small town trailer park car? I'm thinking like a Firebird, like a black Firebird.
We both said Firebird.
T-tops optional. Yeah.
Corvette. Any
Yeah.
kind of 90s Corvette.
If you want to pick up girls like Dracula, the thing to keep in mind is that 18 is legal. It doesn't matter how old you are, 18 is legal. If you're whatever, you're 50, who cares? 18 is legal. She can make her own decisions. It's not your responsibility if those decisions are a mistake. Just roll the dice, let it happen.
Mm-hmm. It's just the reality of it.
Just the reality of it. The law's there for
Yeah.
a reason.
18-year-old girls are super smart.
You don't have to get along with her family.
They have the life experience you're going to need to raise a family.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't care about family, well, then you're probably like Dracula.
There you go. Next question. All I wanted to get out of this stream was a Butterfree, but, I mean, I don't think it's happening. I'm gonna keep going a little bit longer, but we gotta stop soon.
Dude, you're a fucking loser.
Hey, man. I just want a Butterfree. Keep going, see if I get a Butterfree, but it's not looking promising.
Damn.
What?
I don't know, man. I'm just floating. Just working.
Just floating, huh?
Sketching, doodling, drawing.
This Pokemon gym is always closed. I wonder who the leader is. I'm doing a logo for a cafe. Do you think going for a vintage style will be good? I mean, I'd have to know more about the cafe, but in general, I mean, go with what they're going for. Whatever the vibe of the place is, you know? You want something that fits.
Yeah, I gotta go with the style of whatever the place is.
Yeah.
If you have pictures of like the interior or their idea of the interior, that'll help a lot.
There's so many
Because
different
if it's
kinds.
rustic and you go for modern, then you fuck.
You're fucked. Do you hit it from the back on the first date? I mean, that's between you and the girl. Everyone's different, man. Love isn't a one-size-fits-all thing, you know?
What does that mean?
I don't know, it just sounded good.
Just
It
sounded
sounded like an enlightened thing to say. So I said
Enlightened?
it. Yeah.
Like a god thing? Or just
No, like a I'm more mature than you are. And did you read that article I shared the other day? You know, that kind of enlightened.
No. That's cool.
Yeah.
How'd you get so fucking smart, man?
You know, what can I say? I think
Anything.
it was my third year of college is when I really just woke up to what was going on in the world. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be me.
Really? Dude, everything you're saying right now fucking rules.
That's when I started wearing sweaters and drinking, you know, coffee in public and, you know, just letting people know that I had the answers and it's okay if they didn't because, you know, I put a little more work into it than they did.
Ah, smart person's coffee shop.
There you go.
Cum latte. Coffee
Don't-
cum latte.
Coffee cum latte. I think
That
I'm
just
like,
sounds like cum latte.
it does. And that's like
So,
the little white swirl thing on top.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'm hearing screaming outside through my headphones. Can you guys hear it? I'm hearing like, woo!
I can hear it.
Can you really? I gotta take my headphones off to really... Hold on. Yeah, what is that? Are people out there having fun?
Dude, you should have fun.
People are having fun and no one told me. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I don't do shit, man.
Jigglypuff's gonna
perfectly
sing a little
dope.
song. So anyway,
Cafe is in a train station, he says.
do a train logo. Do something with fancy train stuff.
What's a train pun? Coffee.
Getting railed.
Yeah, get railed at
Railed.
this coffee shop.
Off the tracks, steamer, something about steamer, caboose. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to go with steamer.
Yeah,
Yeah, steamer's the one.
getting
Steam
railed,
engine.
getting railed lattes and more. Laying tracks.
Playing tracks, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry about the buffer thing, guys. I see it's causing problems for lots of people. I don't know really what we can do about that. Nothing
You
I
can
can
set
do.
a delay, I think, on your stream. It'll set us back, but I think it makes the buffer better.
I mean, I did do that. I didn't do the no delay thing. I wonder what's up.
Okay.
Sorry. A few more questions.
Do you have DSL on?
A what?
Yeah, do you have your DSL?
Got my DSL. Dave, do you still skate regular? When was the last time you kissed the ground? Answer the question.
I haven't skated in a long time.
It doesn't answer the question at all.
When's the last time I kissed the ground? Oh boy, it's been a minute.
It's been a hot
Probably
minute.
when I was laying, when I was railing hard at
Railing
the
hard.
skate spot down by Jacobs Point in Atlanta. I was
There you
hitting
go.
a 7-set, and I got a little wild. I overcommitted, and I got railed. No big deal. And then I kissed the ground, and I thank my lucky stars every night that I didn't get super fucked in that whole thing.
Looks like this stream is just not happening for people. Which is pretty dope.
Really sorry, everyone. Dan
Guys.
hasn't been paying his Comcast bills, so
It's true.
they've been lagging him.
Yeah, they've been lagging me out till I pay that debt.
They were like, Dan's been watching dirty porn.
It's true.
Let's slow his service down. The FBI's
The
slowing
dirtiest,
service down.
dirtiest porn. Any other questions? Come on. This stream is
No,
just
good.
every 2 seconds it's buffering. I have it open too to see what's going on. It's crazy. I don't know why OBS is being so shit right now. I wonder if there's anyone it's not doing that for. We're like 10 minutes
You gotta
behind or
fix your
something at this
neutrality.
point. That's crazy.
If you want an update on Aiden, I'll tell you. Aiden, he's been growing up, he's been learning his life lessons, and he's kind of turning it around.
Metapod's evolving.
He doesn't turn it around. He's still a piece of shit.
I got a Butterfree. That was my only goal. I got a Butterfree now.
Aiden has been playing Star Wars Battlefront, and I know that because in the middle of the night he'll go, "Oh, Darth Vader, why?"
Yep.
And it makes me want to murder. So that's what's up with Aiden. Thanks for asking.
I beat this Pokemon trainer and he says, "You're pretty hot, but not as hot as Brock."
What?
That's what he says after you beat him. "You're pretty hot,
Trying to fuck?
but not as hot as Brock."
What you getting at, fuck boy?
All right, Brock,
Hey, what's this?
let's roll.
Oh my goodness, a little puppy just jumped in my lap. What the heck?
I'm Brock, this gym's leader. I believe in rock-hard defense and determination. That's why my Pokemon are all the rock type. Do you still want to challenge me? Fine then. Show me your best.
Oh my god, Elu. What the hell? I got an elu in my lap.
I forgot
Oh my
that in the
God,
game, Brock was
What's
just
this?
shirtless.
Bitch.
I wish people could see Elu, but they can't.
She's doing a dance on my
You okay,
lap.
man?
Oh, it's the cutest fucking dog in the world. She's like trying to lick the inside of my mouth.
Of course.
Fucking gross.
It's tasty in there.
Yeah. I get it.
Oh, man.
Alright, you gotta hold on now. Oh my god. So, you got your Butterfree.
I did.
Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm just fighting Brock right now. He might beat me, but we'll see. I one-shotted it. Oh, no, I didn't. I almost one-shotted his Geodude. We'll see. Anyway, any last questions in the chat? Not that anyone's going to hear this in time, because we're like 10 minutes late, but, if there is anything, just post it. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. Will we ever see Aiden? Yeah. We'll see him. He'll come up. We'll webcam him whenever I kill him.
We'll cam him.
We'll cam his death
We'll cam
live. Only on Twitch.
Live.
We'll
Let's see.
get a red room cam going. Get rid of him.
Alright, if I can beat this Onyx, we'll call it a night. Onyx, you screech. Oh my god, my defense greatly fell.
Dude, are you fucking joking?
Dude, I'm not joking at
What's
all.
wrong? Dan, will you shut the fuck up? Are you joking?
I'm not joking at all.
Dan, shut the
not.
fuck up.
I'm not. Oh, I beat him! Ow! I got my first badge. And so ends tonight's Poke Journey. I thought that sounded good in my head. That sounded as cool as I thought it did.
No! Dan, people subscribe to this.
We'll have badges
Nobody
and
wants to hear you
we'll-
say the Poke Journey at
we'll
night.
have, we'll have badges and emotes soon. I received
Badges
the.
and emotes.
Oh, I got the Boulder badge. If you're into that,
No. Dan,
fine.
don't let us down. No.
All right. Well, I got TM34, which is Flash.
Oh.
You can use it to go into the Moon Cave. Or Diglett,
Okay.
Diglett
That's pretty
Cave.
cool.
Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming by. Sorry I can't read any questions in the chat. For some reason, the stream delay isn't the only thing fucking up. The chat also isn't updating. Nothing has been posted in there for like 5 minutes straight now. So it's not updating. We don't know what's going on. Hopefully when we come back later this week and do another stream, this won't happen again. But this will all be
I
on
have a dog in
YouTube.
my lap right now, and I can't do it either.
This will all be on YouTube. So, hey, thanks for coming. If you got your Steve book, thank you so much for helping us get it made. If it's not there yet, it'll be there soon. If you don't get your tracking information by next Wednesday, just reach out to me on the Kickstarter. Happy to help. Unless you live in Canada, Argentina, or Moscow, in which case you're going to get the book a little bit late because of some international laws that are out of our control. Otherwise, have a lovely night.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
And this is for YouTube.
Hey, YouTube. What's up?
YouTube, how'd you get looking so good? What happened? What did you change? What's different about you? God, you look good.
I mean, like, I don't know. You guys have always supported us. You've always been the best. As far as I can tell, Twitch just isn't as good as YouTube. I mean, they support us on there, they support us. They subscribe to us. Damn, it's hard to tell.
From the bottom,
I guess Twitch is better than you guys.
from the bottom of my heart to the top of my lips. Thank you.
Bottom, top, stop. From the corner to the back to the middle of the top. I don't know the Linkin Park lyrics. I'm just guessing.
Hip hop.